This process I'm about to teach you is so simple that you're probably not going to believe that it's a reality for you. And here's one of the biggest tricks from what I call the force of average, the algorithm that makes you average in life, is people look for complexity so that they have an excuse not to take action. But it's the simple things in life that move the needle. Don't discredit what I'm about to say. Try it and see what happens. Before I give you the secrets here, you're gonna need something to sell. So how do you find out what it is that you can sell? In 2008, I went to federal prison for really a stupid crime that I didn't commit, and it wasn't the crime that they were looking to pin on me. I just fell into some bad luck. I'll take ownership of it, but that's another video, another time. But because of that prison time in 2008, I lost my job in 2010. Obama passed something called the Dodd-Frank Act, and I lost my job because they wouldn't give me a license to do mortgages when it switched from state to federal. I tell you all of that because all I knew was three things: selling drugs, washing cars, doing mortgages, right? But I still had bills. I had a house to pay for. I had a kid on the way. I was married. My wife didn't work. So I had to figure some shit out. I had to find something to sell. So at that time, I had limited access, limited resources, limited mentorship, but I used everything that I had. I think that's the number one skill a human being needs to have right now on this earth is resourcefulness, right? That is the number one skill to have. So I was resourceful. I thought, okay, social media is free, doesn't cost me anything to log in, that doesn't cost me some kind of membership fee to be a part of it. People need it. I can help them make money from it. So I became very resourceful with the limited resources that I had around me. I probably chose at the time the hardest thing on the planet to sell. I was selling how to make money from social media by letting me manage it for you. $500 down payment, $100 a month for me to write a daily post on your Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn pages, I believe it was. Horrible business plan, totally unscalable, but I needed to hustle something up. Step one, find something to sell. Step two is the most important part, find somebody to sell it to. So in 2006, I was a loan officer for a company right up the street here from my office. I would go and I would have these meetings with real estate agents because when you become a loan officer, they tell you that, go get business from realtors, that's your best bet. And so I would go around to the Keller Williams, the Remax, the Ebby Hallidays around here, and I would go in and basically be in a cutting horse. I'd go in and try to separate one of the realtors from everybody else and sit down and have a conversation. And in the real estate world, everybody's a top producer. That's everybody's a top. They all have some way of making themselves the top producer of something. And so what happens though is I go and I find these top producers and they don't send me business. And really to be a top producer in real estate, it only takes 5 or 6 transactions a year. But as a loan officer, you're trying to do 10, 15, 20 transactions a month. So it takes a lot of realtors, average top producer realtors, to be able to get business. And I would find myself thinking oftentimes why don't they send business to me? This person's a top producer. Why didn't they send me some business? And later on in life, I realized it's because they didn't have business to send me in the first place. But here's what I came up with. So I got tired of chasing these prospects over and over and over again that didn't have business, that it just became a pain in the ass. So what I did was I started getting the newspaper on Sunday, and inside the newspaper, there was a real estate section. And in the real estate section, realtors that got a little money, realtors that have listings, realtors that knew what they were doing, they would run ads in there. So my thought process was, okay, these average top producers ain't got shit to send me, but these guys that are in the newspaper, they have listings, they have active business that they can get. They're paying money to advertise, which means that they're making money, which means that this probably isn't the only listing. And so I realized that if I started chasing dream clients that actually had business, it was going to be a hell of a lot better than chasing people that had no business and spending my time. And guess what? I would write their name down: Cindy O'Gorman, Paulette Green, Jan Ritchie. I still remember their names, right? And I put people down on what's now known as a Dream 25 list, but back then it was just my hot prospect list. These are the top producers. These are the ones that are advertising. These are the ones that are doing big business in the area, that if I could have the dream client, this would be them. And so now we call that a Dream 25 list. So that's step 3 in this whole process, is to create a Dream 25 list. You need a Dream 25 list of people that can purchase from you, and more importantly than people who can just purchase from you, people that can send you business. Like, it's one thing to get a lead from somebody and maybe you do business with them. It's another to have a referral partner. These need to be 25 referral partners that can send you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 100 people a year to your business and go after them instead of chasing the general public. So now that you got a product and you got people on a list, you need to build a relationship with those people. Here's what you can't do. You can't just show up talking about buy my shit. See, when I first started calling these real estate agents, these big time producers, when I first started calling them out of the newspaper, I would ask them and say, well, hey, do you have a loan officer that you're doing business with? And immediately the guard goes up. Immediately they're like, oh, this guy's not interested in buying. He's trying to sell me some shit, right? And dude, we're talking 2006. People are way more skeptical in 2024 than they were in 2006, right? If you show up as this, I call it hide the salesman. It's kind of like hide the weenie. If you show up as a salesperson, then people automatically assume you have some sort of malintention with them, right? Like, think about how salespeople are represented. I asked the other day in an event, I said, what's your favorite sales movie? Guy goes, Wolf of Wall Street. That guy fucking stole hundreds of millions of dollars. He was a drug addict, right? I asked somebody else, what was your favorite sales movie? They said Boiler Room. Same thing, hundreds of millions of dollars, fucking drug addicts, right? What you gotta do, hear me out, right? What you gotta do is show up as a trusted source, right? What I like to do is reach out to people on social media, right? I'll go and I'll find them on social media and I'll leave a comment on their latest post. I'll slide in their DMs. Hey, I've got some business for you. When's a good time for us to connect so I can give you some leads? I leave a comment on their latest post. Hey, I just slid in your DMs. I got some business for you. Let me know when a good time to connect, right? I'm going to go like their post. I'm going to go maybe even share their post. I'm going to tag them in a comment, right? All we're trying to do as a salesperson is get people's attention and let them know that we're looking for them. And the reason why people are on social media is because they want attention. So we're actually giving them what they want. We're satisfying that need that they have. Win-win situation, easiest way to follow up with people. People don't answer the phone. They rarely respond to text messages, but social media, they're there for attention. And when you give them that attention, they love it. So you got a product, you got people, you got your Dream 25 list, you built rapport. The final process is to get good at sales, right? You need to have a good, powerful sales conversation, but you ain't got to be the hardcore closer. You ain't got to be like some aggressive, pushy asshole, because nobody likes that guy anyway. And by the way, that's not who I am. I'm the hardcore closer because I'm always hardcore closing deals, like real estate deals, business deals. It's not because I'm some hardcore, aggressive salesperson. Like, that is so off-putting in today's day and age of social media and everything else. But listen, there's a lot of people who just suck at sales, right? I think in sales, you need two things. You need confidence, which comes from product knowledge, and empathy, right? You got to be the empathetic ear. You just listen to people. But if you are struggling to close people, you're not very good at sales. If you're very low energy and you're very insecure in your product and things like that, I want to teach you something that's our sales process that we've used here for 13 years. And right now we're at a 53% closing ratio on all of our leads. Like, we take guys that have no sales experience whatsoever, bring them in, teach them this process and give them the script, and they absolutely kill it. We call it CATCH, right? It's an acronym for a 5-step selling process. Anybody can memorize it. Anybody can utilize it. It's super easy. And if you watch this video over here, you can get access to it for free. Catch you on the next video. FYE.